Hello, welcome back, everyone. This is our Prayer on Fire discussion, and this is actually a part of Jade's Prayer on Fire devotional. For those who are just now joining us, I encourage you to give part 1, 2, and 3 a listen to get an idea of the heart behind this Prayer on Fire discussion. I have Jade here.
Hi, everyone.
My mentor, and I'm proud to say that. and
Thank you.
And I'm Beatriz. And today we are going to go ahead and dive in a little deeper on specifics within prayer. This is probably like our 25th take on this, but Jade's laughing, but really,
Truth will set you free.
But really, there's a lot of truth in what we're going to discuss today and what I have questions about.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have questions on this. But this first question I have is based off of your day 2 devotional that you've done. And you were talking about us exposing our heart, the hardest prayer I would say that Christians have to pray.
Yeah.
The hardest prayer I'm pretty sure I've prayed.
Same.
So can you go ahead and expound on Jeremiah 17, 9 through 10? What was the Lord showing you through those 2 verses?
Well, I think more than anything, I see myself and I see my potential without the Lord. Meaning my potential without the Lord is deceitfulness and wickedness. Because this issue of the heart that they're discussing in Jeremiah 17, it is for all mankind.
Yeah.
So when he says the heart, he means the heart of mankind is deceitful and wicked above all else. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. He answers who can know it.
Yeah.
I, the Lord. And so what I see when I read Jeremiah 17, 9 through 10 is someone who in the past fit right into that verse and probably would have preached that verse about someone else. And then now can read it and realize how close I can be to that deceitful and wicked.
Yeah.
If the Lord, if I am not persistent in pursuing him. And somebody in the devotional actually stirred me to go a little bit deeper and study the words a little bit more in depth. And when you look at the word deceitful, it's the word for slippery. And when you look at the word wicked, it's the word for sick, like horribly sick. And so the heart is a slippery place. Wow. You know?
Yeah.
Like, do we not slip over our own hearts? The heart is the center of man. That's what he's talking about when he says the heart. The center of the man without God is deceitful and wicked. The mind, will, and the emotions of man is deceitful and wicked.
Wow.
Meaning the center of me is a slippery slope if I do not have the solid rock to stand on. So I will trip over my own emotions. I will become offended and stumble over my own offense as though it is a rock. I will make decisions off of my desires when my desires are perverse without God.
Yeah.
And so the Lord is really addressing a massive heart condition.
Yeah.
The heart of mankind without me searching it out, without me cleaning it out, without me purifying it with my fire is a slippery place and a sick place.
Yeah.
Very sick. And it actually says desperate and desperately sick. And when we are desperate, we start reaching for everything. When you're drowning, it doesn't matter what you grab onto, you're going to grab it. If there's a crocodile in the water and you're drowning, the crocodile becomes your life, saver.
You're floaty.
You're floaty. Yeah. And who cares if it's a bloodthirsty beast? I'm desperate. I will grab a hold of that alligator's tail because I'm desperate. And in the same way, the heart is desperate. So we will grab a hold of satanic things to get symptom relief if we do not have the cure, capital C, Jesus Christ. Because the Bible says he is the center of all things. So the only way the center of me can be whole is to connect with the center of all things. I, the Lord, search the heart.
Yeah.
And so that verse is extremely personal to me. And it's an extremely It's so personal that it is a part of my prayer life, my daily prayer life. Lord, I know the heart of man in any area that doesn't involve you is slippery. Am I slipping? Am I falling? And am I sick without knowing it? Examine my heart, oh God.
So you also wrote on Psalm 139 verse 23, and it says, search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And that's what I was talking about, maybe the hardest prayer to pray. And I mean, because we are wicked and we can't be wicked, and you already expounded on that a little bit, but when's a good time to, you already said it, but when's a good time to pray this prayer?
Right now.
Right now.
Right now, today is a good time to pray this prayer. Every day is a good day to pray this prayer.
Yeah.
This is not a one-time prayer. If you read through the book of Psalms, it's like reading through King David's diary. And you see him have to come back to this several times. Even one time in Psalm 51:10, saying, create in me a clean heart. He's not even saying, hey, Lord, look at my heart. Is there anything wrong? In Psalm 51:10, he's saying, it's despicable and wretched. Create another one. I don't even want this one. And in this verse, he's like, is there anything?
Yeah.
If there's anything in there, what you mean if, King David, but he knew I'm really walking with the Lord. This is one of the most passionate verses. Chapters, Psalm 139. If I'm in heaven, you're with me. If I'm in hell, you're with me. Where can I go apart from your presence? Yeah. He's in a really lovely place. Psalm 51, he's just murdered a man and committed adultery. Created me a clean heart, oh God.
Wow.
And the word for, he goes on to say, wash me. And he's, the description there for create and for wash is actually the word to like beat your clothes on a rock. Meaning you beat them until you can get the stains out, and so King David is like, beat my heart on a rock.
Wow.
And it actually also means means to cut out of my heart this wickedness, like we talked about the prayer closet of the heart. Cut out the junk that separates us, like my lust, like my murderous intentions, when I'm afraid of being exposed because my self-righteousness and self-preservation has become more important than God's heart being pleased. Wow. So cut those things out so that room is made again for you to dwell within my heart like a temple. Yeah. And so this prayer is not an easy prayer, but it is an extremely important one. And without it, we can be running with God with holes in our heart that are just waiting for the fiery darts of the enemy. Wow. And the moment that fiery dart reaches that hole and fills that space that we did not allow God to fill, we are offended and we will fall away. We will blame God for things God had nothing to do with. We will be hurt by people that we didn't realize they were our God. Yeah. So we fall away from God when that relationship ends because they were my God. Yeah. But this hole is just waiting for a fiery dart. If I don't say, examine me, show me these holes that are waiting for fiery darts so that I can request your presence, so that I can give you an invitation to come and dwell there. So there's no room for a fiery dart. The enemy launches one and that place is full. Yeah. It's guarded by the presence of the Lord. So this prayer, as difficult as it is actually in our benefit. Yeah. It is in our favor. It is not for us to come before God and be like, show me how awful I am. I feel like this will really humble me and this will make me a better person for me to know that I am so wretched. It's not that way. Yeah. God's not like that. It's not his nature. He is allowing you to come to a place to say, let me make you stronger. Let me heal you in a way you never knew you could be whole. Let me do some things in your life that are profound, above and beyond anything you could ever ask, think, or imagine. But I can't do it if you don't let me in, because I gave you this thing called a will. Yeah. And if you don't say to me, will you, oh God? Wow. I won't, because I move on the will of man. And that's the kindness of God. He gives man a will because he wants to be loved by choice. Yeah. Who doesn't? Yeah. Nobody wants to be loved because they're forced to by the person's will, and so likewise, God wants to be loved by the choice of man. And so this prayer is the right now prayer. And I will say that more than likely it comes with tears. Yeah. Yeah. More than them. What? A lot of them. Yes. And with a humbling,
Yeah.
a holy humbling. And I will say that if we are afraid to pray this prayer, I will submit this idea to the listeners, that if you are afraid to pray this prayer, it is largely in the efforts of self-preservation.
Wow.
I don't want to know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to know I'm wrong. There's two parts in that: fear and pride. Yeah. And they didn't see you, but you whispered them with your, you did your lips, like you said them because you already knew, because we've both been there.
Yeah.
Fear and pride prevent us from going to God and saying, show me who I really am. Let me look in the mirror of the word and see the blemishes on my face, because I know you heal them. You have eyes of fire, and your eyes of fire burn away the things that even I hate about myself. Yeah. And in this verse, God is trying to rescue. King David realized, I am rescued in this verse from myself. This is my rescue. Examine me and do your work. But we sabotage ourselves often with that self-preservation. And in fear and pride, often we are so afraid to be told we are wrong. We are so afraid that we're in the middle of a project God's going to stop. We are so afraid that we are in some movement that God's going to say stop, and we don't want to hear it. And we're afraid of that, and we don't realize that the sooner we hear and the sooner we stop, the sooner we hear and the sooner we're healed, the better our lives are, the more profound they are.
Yeah.
So Satan really hinders us from that prayer.
Yeah. That's good.